This one may seem obvious, but Megalodon, whose name means big teeth, was named for its large interlocking teeth. For millions of years, it ate whatever it could find in its stomach throughout the oceans, and it actually was quite successful with this, being found across dozens of continents and over millions of years. But it's not actually as well known as it should be, because I'm not talking about a shark right now. I'm talking about something different. When people talk about fossil animals, they most often use the genus name, so things like Tiktaalik, or a Pteranodon, or a Tyrannosaurus. There's a lot of examples of this. The one most notable exception, though, is a shark, Otodus, formerly Carcharocles, Megalodon, because people often just associate Megalodon with that shark. But there is actually a genus also called Megalodon. But it's so underrepresented that if you actually search Megalodon genus, the shark still shows up first. This genus is still playing second fiddle to the shark. But that genus Megalodon can still be pretty cool too, although it may not seem quite like it because, after all, it is just a clam. That's right, Megalodon as a genus is just a bivalve, but it can actually show us a lot about how different bivalves are distinguished from one another. And that's because nothing that I told you at the beginning of this video is a lie. Like the shark, the genus name of Megalodon also means big tooth. But bivalves don't really have teeth. Or do they? They do actually, but not teeth like you or I have. Instead, these are teeth that help the different parts of the shell articulate together so they can actually essentially bend and open and close for the animal. And there's a lot of different types of these. For example, there's Taxodon and Disodon, both of which have many very small teeth, which help the shells articulate together. And then there's the Anodonts, which are a very specific group that actually don't have this dentition, they've lost it entirely. And then there's some groups, like the Isodont and Heterodonts, which actually essentially have very few teeth, and the shells come together at just a single point. Of these, Megalodon is a heterodont, and some of these are actually still around today, and some of them you may know as very popular food items, such as cockles, a very specific type of heterodont bivalve. As for the food of Megalodon the genus, it was like all heterodonts. It essentially sat at the seafloor and filter fed, so it wasn't going after very large food. But that doesn't matter because it could do this in very large numbers, meaning it could help build up some massive reefs in the distant past. This also made it very successful. The rock layers they've been found from also span a wide variety of different ages, from the Devonian 412 million years ago, all the way up to the Jurassic only 182 million years ago. So they were around for over 230 million years, far longer than the paltry 60 million years that a specific genus of shark, which did lead to the largest shark in history, was around for. So it really deserves a little bit more attention than something else called Megalodon. This long time range is also part of the reason it was probably described a full 22 years before the first description of Megalodon the shark. And this long time range also means it was around for some of the most important events in animal life. From the Cambrian explosion until the modern day, Megalodon was there for around 40% of the time, meaning it was there for some major evolutionary steps. When reptiles and mammals first diverged, Megalodon was there in the oceans. When the dinosaurs took their first steps and the pterosaurs took their first flights, Megalodon was there in the oceans. When mammals first started to evolve and develop their very complicated inner ears, Megalodon was there in the oceans. And then during the Permian-Triassic extinction, which killed 95% of life in the oceans, Megalodon still survived. So while it may seem like a boring little clam, it's actually very interesting. And just keep in mind that in the fossil record, looks can be deceiving. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. And if you got clickbaited into this video thinking it was a Megalodon the shark video, April Fools! Yeah, Megalodon, I do think it is an interesting bivalve. There's going to be a lot more study on it. It may not have actually been around that full time, but its family definitely was, so everything in here is based on the best information we currently have. So, the kind of research that's going to be happening with Megalodon on all of the bivalves in the world, it's going to come out slowly. It's going to be, I guess not quite a snail's pace, more of a clam's pace. So, with that in mind, everybody, be safe, take care, wear a mask. We're almost done. We're almost through this, right? And, don't go extinct.